And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week.
It's Saturday morning, and hopefully everyone has recuperated and recovered from St. Patrick's Day, and all are enjoying March Madness in its infancy. And already we've seen some great upsets. The first day, you see Princeton beating out Arizona, a 2-seed falling early, one that a lot of folks might even go all the way. And then UVA, which seems to struggle so much, the only team in NCAA history to lose to a number 16 seed this year, drops out early, losing to Furman, whom my dad used to play against many years ago. But it's underway, and it's all so much fun to watch. And in international news, we see Russian fighter planes dumping jet fuel on top of an unmanned American aircraft and then bringing it down into the Black Sea. And what's the American response? We say, oh, that wasn't very nice. Literally, the language was, it was unprofessional, environmentally unsound. Are you kidding me? No wonder the world doesn't take us seriously. There's not even any bite to our bark, much less bark to our bite. Peace through strength was the model that Ronald Reagan and so many others put forward. We don't have the strength right now that we need to have, and as a result, the world is less secure and less safe. When these things happen, the response has to be proportionate. A bunch of word salad certainly doesn't make it. And of course, as we move through March Madness, there's a different kind of March Madness. It's budget time at both the state and federal levels. And for only the second time in American history, our debt is outracing our gross domestic product. Think about that. The only other time that occurred was at the height of World War II, when bluntly you might have expected that kind of debt being accumulated because we had to finance the war machine. We don't have that situation now, and yet spending continues to go up and up and up at a time when the American people simply cannot afford it. And so what's the Biden administration's answer? More spending and more taxes. They say we're going to tax the rich, but whenever you hear those words, hold on to your wallet, because the tax policy always comes down to sock the little guy in the gut. You know, Joe Biden complains about how unfair our tax system is. Frankly, something I can agree with, but who made it unfair? It was the Congress over all the years that he was there, putting in special exceptions and loopholes and deductions and credits and all sorts of chicanery to benefit interest groups, and Joe Biden voted for those things time after time after time after time, and now he wants to demagogue about how unfair it is. And here at home in Pennsylvania, the budget negotiations begin in earnest this week. And one issue that's looming over all of the budget, and again, Josh Shapiro asking the people of Pennsylvania for even more money to spend, a 6% increase. Think about what household can afford that. But the overarching issue right now is RGGI, the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative, which is another tax on the people of Pennsylvania and on our productivity. Taxes by law must be initiated by the legislature. This one wasn't. And even Josh Shapiro expressed grave concern about the manner in which Tom Wolf put this into effect. But he never did anything about it. And he didn't mention it in his budget address. And yet there it is, tucked in under the revenue side, $600 million plus. Now, folks are saying that allows him some negotiating now to remove it and get something in exchange for it. But a lot of Republicans are pushing back quietly and on the inside by saying this was all kind of baked into the cookie, this negotiating prospect of putting the RGGI money in there, knowing it was going to have to come out, and that the Republicans were going to have to make concessions in order to get that good piece of public policy across the finish line. So we'll stay tuned and watch how all that works out. But again, we simply cannot afford to continue on the line of spending trajectory that we have been both at the state and federal level. The American people simply can't afford it, and our economy certainly can't. And finally, the world lost another great American this past week, Jesús Alou, who might be remembered as the least significant baseball-wise of the Alou brothers. Manny, Felipe, and Jesus, who once upon a time comprised the entire outfield of the San Francisco Giants, passed away this week. And he will be well remembered, not only as a good ball player, but as a great human being. And for now, and until next week's edition of March Madness, that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.